So I thought I'd shoot a quick video of why you should be interested in our 2014 Ford Flex. One of the things that really sold me on the Flex was that I love wagons. I've always loved wagons. I think they're a very cool platform. I like the low look of a wagon. My wife, however, does not. She likes SUVs. The thing about the Flex is that it's kind of neither of the above. It's certainly not a wagon and it's certainly not an SUV. It's a crossover. So it falls into the in-between category, which means that it's not like what everybody else drives. It's got the look of a wagon with the spaciousness and all of the luxury of any modern SUV.
Now our Flex currently has 92,700 miles, and it's going to have a little more put on it because we still drive it every day. We love this car. In fact, it's our third Flex. Our first one was a 2011, then we actually got a 2009, and then this one's a 2014. This is absolutely by far the best of the three. Now they're actually discontinuing the Flex for the 2020 model, so get your hands on them while you can. They only sold a little over 20,000 of these every year, which is insane to me because they're just an absolutely fantastic car. Why the market hasn't caught on to these cars, I don't quite understand. To me, they very much have the sex appeal of a Land Rover, while having the practicality and the affordability of any of your modern domestic products. One amazing feature that we really love is the wireless start. Now, not only is this great when it's cold outside and you're wanting to warm the car up, or it's hot outside and you want to cool the car off, but you can set this for 5, 10, 15 minutes right on the instrument cluster. So if you decide to go in Walmart and it's super hot outside, you can get out of the car, set your remote start, and leave it for 15 minutes with the doors locked, and it's going to sit there and run, and you take your keys inside with you. If you take longer than 15 minutes, it's going to be a little bit warmer, but it's not going to be nearly as bad if it had sat there for 20 minutes outside in, well, this is Oklahoma, so 110 degrees in the shade. So right here on my instrument cluster, I could go into settings, into vehicle, into remote start, into climate control, and I could set it for the last setting that I had the climate control set to before the car was shut off. So if I had it blowing like Antarctic winds, the whole time you're in the store, it's going to blow like Antarctic winds. Likewise, if it's cold outside and you want the Sahara Desert in your car, that's what you're going to get. And now to the meat and potatoes of why you, if you're a mom or a dad, get a Flex. Now with this particular Flex, our second row seating does in fact have individual captain seats and a center console. The center console is going to get you extra storage space with a tray, 2 additional cup holders. That's in addition to the 2 cup holders you have down there with extra storage space. That is in addition to the cup holders that are on each door. So you're looking at 6 cup holders within reach at any given time in the second row seating. Wait, there's more. Now part of the rear climate control gives you a speed adjustment, a temperature adjustment. You can even adjust it if you want it to blow on your face, your feet, or both. Plus your heating seats. So over our head, we've got 4 overhead climate controls that are just in the perfect position to be able to blow on your face or around you at any given time. And as you can see, they've got some wind power. There we go. Same with the back seats. Third row seating, personal vents, personal map lighting for both second and third row seating. Now let me show you
The belts protecting these crash test dummies demonstrate a world first, the introduction of an automotive rear inflatable safety belt.
This technology is extremely important because we're combining 2 safety features that we know have a track record for saving lives. That's seat belts and airbags. And by having an inflatable seat belt in the rear seat, will add additional protection for the rear seat occupants.
In the blink of an eye, vehicle sensors will determine the severity of a crash. If required, each belt's tubular airbag inflates with cold compressed gas that flows through a specially designed buckle. The belts would inflate at a slower rate than a traditional airbag and help control head and neck motion for rear seat occupants, including the more vulnerable passengers, young children, and the elderly.
Did you see what I did there? Now, while we're on the subject, let me go ahead and show you this crash test for the side airbags as well. On this Flex, you actually have connections for your child seat in all 4 of the back seats. So you can have up to 4 kid seats, and I'm telling you, both of them will fit in the back row comfortably. Not only that, but the access is a push button and a complete fold-up seat away. So an adult wanting to sit in the back row is still going to have lots of room and easy access. Not to mention that you can scoop these seats forward so you can get more leg room and adjust as accordingly. Still getting your controls, still getting extra lights, seats beside you, and these seats do individually fold down. Got storage compartments, cup holders, and everything that you're going to want back here to move people in comfort. Where we get to the limited package. Most of these cars have manual 3rd row folded seats, but this one is completely automatic. Here's your switches right here. You can choose between right hand, left hand, or both seats. In this case, we're just going to go right hand. I'm going to go ahead and fold it. And then I can stow it. And if I really want, we can set it in tailgate mode. Now get this, in tailgate mode, you're going to your favorite drive-in or sports park or watching the kids play practice, you've got a nice comfortable place to sit where you can still run the air conditioner, blowing at the back of your neck. You've got a 12-volt outlet, more storage space, and you can do this with both seats. Now when we fold all the seats down, Ford advertises 85 cubic feet of storage space in the rear compartments alone. Now find me another SUV that can do that. Now if you want to open or close your hatch, you have 3 options. You can use the key by pushing the button twice, that opens and closes it. There's a button at the hatch on the back. And there's a button right here by the steering wheel. 3 different ways to get in and out of the hatch. Now as soon as you start your car, it's going to adjust your steering wheel and your seat to your personal position. And let's talk about the instrument cluster. On the right, you can see that we have our radio controls. And I can simply use my controls right here on the steering wheel to change volume, seek through sounds, or go through my control options, of which you can control the entertainment, the navigation system, or the phone call, which is pretty neat. Also over here, we can set our fuel economy to show up in the last 30 minutes so we get an idea of how we've been driving over the last half hour. I can also set it to instant fuel economy. I could go back, I could show my trip meter, change my settings, or I could go into display mode and show a tachometer, because why not? Miles to empty. And I can also put our temperature gauge on there as well. So if you're the driver's driver who wants to know all the information there is to know about your car, or if you're more of a, what kind of fuel mileage am I getting, you have those options, and it's all within the same simple little screen. Now the radio is controlled through Microsoft Sync. You can connect a primary and a secondary device that will automatically connect as soon as you get in the car. If you were playing a song before, it's going to automatically come back on with the song that you were playing before, whether you were in the car 10 minutes ago or 10 hours ago. Also, it is completely controllable through the steering wheel. You can change your songs, change your volume, you can voice call, and you can actually read your text messages on display while you're driving down the road. One thing that is great is when you're making voice calls, your microphone's right up here, and I can tell you from experience that the second row passengers can hear and speak to whoever it is on the phone just as good as the driver can. It has 12 speakers, full complete surround sound, and dual layer sound deadening glass. So the outside noise doesn't get in, and you can rock out and the person next to you is just looking at you like you're a crazy person because, frankly, you're singing Aerosmith and they just don't really know what's going on. Not to mention, it's got 12, count them, 12 cup holders. It's got 4 USB connectors. You've got 2 in the center console. You've got 1 in each of the headrest monitors. You've also got 4
12-volt power connectors to include the one at the back hatch. Convenience was an absolute priority, and if this was designed by anybody, it was designed by a mom. A couple of neat features of your monitor. You've got heated and cooled seats right there on the front. My butt's on fire, we're going to go ahead and cool that off, and I can absolutely already feel the fan cooling at my back. You've got your preset stations, entertainment, you've got your nav cluster right there to tell you exactly where you are. If we wanted to connect our phone, it's also right there. But watch this. This is a cool feature that Ford put in. You've got up to 7 colors of ambient lighting. The lighting will show in the cup holders, at the feet of both front driver and passenger, and at the back of the center console to illuminate the second row of seating. It's actually got a preset temperature setting. So if for some reason the kids get in here and they mess with all of your controls, you come in here and you hit my temp and it's going to go right back to your preferred setting. Now let's talk visibility. The front windscreen's absolutely huge, and the hood really ducks down so you can get a good feel for what's directly in front of you on the road. There is enough hood that it looks good, but it's not in your way. The A-pillar is not the thickest in the world, so you get plenty good visibility around it. Your mirrors have blind spot indicators, so they do light up when there is a car beside you, plus the added option of the power fold. One thing of note is that the rearview mirror is also light sensitive, so it does auto dim if someone gets behind you with 5 kc lights, because that's necessary when you're driving down the highway. When it comes to rear visibility and backing up, this does really well. All of the windows are very big to give you really good visibility in every direction. But if that's not enough, it does have the rear backup camera, so you can see those pesky objects that your kids left directly behind your car. Not to mention that it predicts the path that you're going to take, so you get a pretty good idea of what you're going to hit before you hit it. Another helpful feature is the active collision warning system, which will interrupt the radio, shine a bright red bar on the windshield, and put out a pretty annoying noise to let you know you're about to hit the car in front of you. One of my favorite things to use is the cruise control with a gap feature, where I can actually set the distance that I want to stay behind the car in front of me. And as I go around the car, as I show in this video, it will automatically speed up to continue at the speed I want to. And if somebody cuts you off, it will slow down accordingly. One of the great features about this car is if you're like me, you have a lovely little tyke that'll run around. Oh, and they like to get in your seat and lock the doors, which means that you cannot get in. Well, you have the access of a keypad where you could push the 5-digit code and the doors will automatically unlock, even if your keys are left inside. Alright, so if you're worried about power, this comes standard with a 3.5 liter V6 with variable cam timing. It uses computers to change the oil pressure to actually independently rotate the camshafts where you get 0 valve overlap under power. While under normal power, you're going back to an eco mode that gets you 17 to 25 miles per gallon between city and highway, while also producing 285 horsepower and 254 foot-pounds of torque, which is more than my 91 Corvette. Now, it also has the option of the twin-turbo EcoBoost system that they also use in the F-150. That's right, this exact same engine is what Ford is today, putting in the F-150. In fact, they've used this engine in Tauruses, in Lincolns, in all of their Ford platforms, so you know it's very reliable. We decided not to go with the twin-turbo or the optional all-wheel drive platform because, frankly, my wife likes to drive 5,000 miles per hour, and I can't afford the gas. I can't afford the gas in the naturally aspirated form that it is. On note, it is also the front-wheel drive option, so you're getting the most economic platform that you can get with this particular car.